Hi everyone, I'm Terry, and this is the Yarnjoy podcast, episode number 40. Welcome. I have some finished objects today and some works in progress, and I'm going to do the drawing for the winner of my 500 subscriber giveaway. So stay tuned. Okay, so for my finished objects, I have 3 this week. I finished my Around the Bases blanket that I was working on. It's not the complete pattern, but I got to the end of my mandala cake. I was doing it in Lion Brand mandala, the colorway Spirit. And so when I got to the end of my 3rd cake, I went ahead and just finished off and ended the blanket. So here it is. I'm really happy with it. I think it turned out really good. I'm glad it ended up on this the blue again. Got another blue section. But anyway, I think it's great. I haven't washed it or blocked it, so I think it should grow a little bit larger. But I really like the pattern. It was a little tough these last few rows because I have all these rows of just single crochets. So it took me a while to get from one end to the other, or end to the other, all the way around. But I do really like how it turned out. I like the little popcorn stitches on that row right there. So that's finished object number 1. I was real happy to get this finished. And I had this much left. So I'm happy that I was able to use that cake. Or those cakes, rather. Okay, so that's my first one. And then my next one is I went ahead and finished will be the 365 Days of Granny Square project. This is blanket number 3 of this project. So, all finished. Haven't washed this one either, but it should soften up and relax some, and I think it's gonna be a nice size. I did 6 squares by 6 squares, so it's 36 squares. And I just did the join as you go method, and then I did one more round of the soft white in the little, it's just single crochet, chain 2, and then single crochet. And I think I skipped, let's see, yeah, and you skip 1 stitch in between there. But anyway, gave it just a little tiny little scalloped edge. I would have gone around more, maybe another time, but I was almost running out of the soft white, the Red Heart Super Saver soft white that I used to border it, and so I was almost running out of it. So I thought, well, that's big enough. I'll just stop there. So anyway, there's that one done. So since I finished that, I got to pick out a new set of colors for my next blanket, which will be continuing on with the 365 Days of Granny Square project. So here are the colors that I picked. If you've been following along with me, you know that the first blanket I bordered it in black. And so I got my black out again, and so I'm going to do that again. So that's what the black is for, is going to be for the border and putting it together. All the rest of these colors are Red Heart Super Saver, except for this one at the top, which is a Caron Simply Soft. I don't know the color. It was another several skeins that were given to me that didn't have ball bands on it, so I know it's Caron Simply Soft, but I don't know the color. It's something red. Had a red color, I don't know. And along with, of course, my ever going, or how do I say it? Never-ending orange that I have. I keep putting orange in all these blankets because I'm really wanting to get through all those orange skeins that were given to me. I am making a dent in them. I think I started out with maybe 15 skeins or something, and let me check right here. I may have about 7 or 8 left, so I've got maybe halfway through them, maybe. Anyway, but all the rest is that this is royal blue, I think, and this is some type of golden, like goldenrod, or no, gold, I think, just gold. This is tea leaf. This is turquoise, and this is light purple. I don't think it's lilac. I think it's called light purple. I'm not sure. But anyway, that's my new set of colors from my new squares, which leads me to my third finished project, which is that I did the first 6 squares using these new colors. So, continuing on, this is square number 122. Really like that one. And then I did number 123. And then 124. 125 right there. And then, oh, I like this one too. 126. Really like that one. And then 127. I think this is pretty also. Now this one, she said in the video that it made a very large square, and so the hook size I've been using for this project is a J hook for these, because I wanted to get the squares a larger size than what she was making them, so my blankets would be larger with smaller amount of squares. But this one, she said, was quite big, and so I actually went down 3 hook sizes. I think I did this one with a G hook because I wanted it to end up like the same size. And so that's what I did with this one, and I was happy with the hook size I chose because it was the right size for this. So that is up to 127 squares that I've done in this 365 Days of Granny Square project. And as I've said before, it is YouTube videos that I'm watching that's put out by Nadia at Yarn Utopia, and she did this, I believe this project, she did it in 2016, and so I'm just following along with her tutorials, and my goal is to go through each one and then make blankets. As I get enough, I put them together as blankets, and then I will donate the blankets. So my goal for this year, for 2018, if you watch my goals, crafty goals video, is that I wanted to get through all of these squares. So I'm on just finishing 127. So I'm on my way. If I do 6 squares per week, I should get through the 365. Of course, and I didn't start at number 1 in January. I had done I don't remember how many I started. I have to go back with my notes. But anyway, but that was my goal, was to finish up this project. So anyway, so that's my finished objects. Okay, so my works in progress. Now, Mickey Midge, hi Michelle, is doing a springtime cowl crochet along, and I wanted to participate in that. It has to do with her Ravelry group, and I will link below her channel, so then you can check it out and see if you want to take part in this springtime cowl that she's doing. But my project for the springtime cowl that I was going to enter for as a participating object was the it's a pattern by Heidi Yates, and it's called the Buggy Flag or Buggy Garden Flag, something. And I think the main picture in the pattern shows it was like a Valentine's themed flag with a ladybug and some little hearts. But she had in the pattern, she had a version of it that you could do with a bumblebee on it. And I thought it was super cute, and so I think it's very spring-like. And so this is what the finished object will look like right there. If you can see that. Let's see, I'll zoom it in a little bit bigger so it'll be easy for you to see. There you go. So I'm working on that, and I'll show you my progress so far. I'm just using scraps that I have in my stash. And here's my progress so far. Now, I know it looks kind of wonky. It's not centered or anything. I just slapped the pieces on there with some pins, so then you can kind of get an idea of what it's going to look like. I still have to do his wings and his antenna, but should be finished with it this week. And my husband bought me a picked up a dowel rod for me at the hardware store the other day, and so he said that he will cut it for me the length that I need once I'm going to hang it. And I was thinking about maybe putting it back on the cork board somewhere, like I had in the fall, where I had the fall wreath hanging. I think it was there, right there. And so I may hang it up there somewhere as part of my spring decor, or I don't know, I'll find a place to put it. Or I might put it in another part of the house. But anyway, I think it's going to turn out really cute. So that is one of my works in progress. And then my next works in progress, as I was telling you before, that I was wanting to make some more Christmas amigurumi to go on a ladder that I have in my house, in the other part of the house, for Christmas decor, where I have like a Christmas character on each step of the ladder. And so far I have an elf on a shelf that I made, and I have I have a penguin, a little Christmas penguin, really cute, that I made several years ago. And then I also have the Rudy the reindeer amigurumi that I showed you, I believe it was last episode, or episode before, maybe. Yeah. Anyway, so I have that one. And so I found a pattern on Ravelry for a polar bear. In fact, it is Philip the polar bear right here, and he's got a scarf around his neck. I think it was really cute, and so I'm working on him to add to my collection of Christmas characters that will be sitting on the ladder. And you know, he reminds me of the Coca-Cola polar bears, I think, the ads that they would have for Christmas at Christmas time. But anyway, he's cute. I believe this polar bear's name is Philip. So anyway, I'm working on his body parts. I have his head and his head and body, and I have the eyes. The eyes are 15 millimeter safety eyes, and I have done his back legs, so they'll be like that. And I do have the other one done. So I still need to do his front legs and his ears and his the nose, of course. And his scarf, but I think he's going to be really cute. She has him sitting on a little mat, a little red, if you can see that, a mat, but I'm not going to do that. So anyway, that's super cute. That's from Melissa's Crochet, I believe, and I'll put all the links in the description box from all the patterns that I'm talking about today. Okay, so next work in progress. I told you a few episodes back that in January, Sarah Satch, who is here on YouTube, she is doing a year-long cowl that she's calling a Harmony sample blanket. It's kind of like a sample stitch scrappy blanket project. And what she does is she just releases one stitch or technique per month, and she releases it on the last Monday of each month. And I thought, well, I'm always looking for ways to use up my small balls or medium balls, whatever, of scraps. And so I was thinking this would be a perfect project to work on. So I'm doing that. And since this past Monday was the last Monday in February, she released her second stitch pattern. And so the first one she did, it was a granny stitch down here at the bottom, and then these top rows here is a V stitch. And so I'm just doing scrap yarn that I have. I've noticed that I have a lot of blues for some reason, and so I am trying to tie it together some by repeating, like this blue is up here again, and so ever so often I'll try to repeat the colors, possibly in some sort of a sequence, because I want it to be like a random scrappy, but I want it to tie together in some way. So I will repeat the colors here, there, I guess. But anyway, what I was going to say about it is now when she did it, she just changed 75, and so it was she said hers came out to be like 24 inches or 25 inches, something like that, which means her gauge was like or to aim for 3 stitches per inch. And so I just kind of did a swatch until I got 3 stitches per inch, which I used double crochets, and it was, for me, it ends up being an eye hook, I believe. Yeah, an eye hook. And so I'm using that, and then I decided I wanted it longer, at least baby blanket size or so, maybe 40 inches or 35 to 40 something, I don't know, but I just kind of guessed at it. And so I chained 123 for this size, and I think it'll be a good size for toddler blanket maybe. Or if I'm finished, when I finish, I may want to add some pieces. I was telling you, I think it was last week, that Sylvia Barnes, who is one of my viewers and friends, and she's on my Facebook group as well, and she's doing this project also, and she did a 2 round little granny squares that she's going to put like bordering the whole entire blanket all the way around this piece. And so I've decided that I'm going to do that too, because I really like the way it looked. So I've been working on those. I've got several little grannies done to add to this as I go along. And but what I did for each section is like, okay, the granny stitch, she showed you the pattern, and then she said you could repeat it as much as you want. So I repeated it until I got 3 inches worth. And then so this week's section, which was the V stitches, I did the same thing. I just kept repeating it until I got to 3 inches. So each section I'm going to do 3 inches. So if there's 12 of them, that means it would be 36 inches high. So that's kind of my reasoning for the sizing. So anyway, long discussion on that, but I will just pull this out at the end of the month like this next month, this is March. So the last Monday of this month, March, she will have the 3rd piece. So I will pull that out and show you once I get a new section on it. Okay. So that works in progress. Okay, and then the 4th works in progress. Last week I told you about that there was a young couple in my church that was getting married this summer, and at the end of April they're going to have a wedding shower, and I always like to make a blanket for couples that are getting married and as a gift. And so I picked out this blanket. I showed you the pattern last week, and I was telling you how I had gone to Joann's, tried to find the colors for it. I really liked the colors. Couldn't find the colors. Well, I could find 2 of them, so I had to end up ordering them. So I did get the yarn yesterday. I was so excited to get it. The pattern is by Lion Brand, and it's made using the Lion Brand Heartland yarn. And I like the colors so well in this blanket that I've just ordered the colors that they said to use. So this is the Panels and Squares Afghan, and it is from Lion Brand. I did have it in my, I had it in my Ravelry library. And so I'm qualifying this as a Stitch Your Library project, I guess, because I belong to a Facebook group called Stitch Your Library, where we encourage each other to use patterns and things that are in our pattern library already instead of buying new patterns, which I'm still doing that. But this would qualify for the Stitch Your Library incentive or project, I guess, because it was in my Ravelry library. And I also said that as part of my 2018 crafty goals, which is on that whiteboard back there, I wanted to do at least 6 Stitch Your Library projects, which is patterns out of books or patterns that I had bookmarked or collected or whatever I already had, because how many of us buy pattern books and bookmark tons of patterns, and how many of us, they just sit there and we don't use them. So anyway, so this is my number 1 for the year for the Stitch Your Library project, I guess you'd say. Anyway, order the yarn. I was wanting to show you the yarn while it was nice and pretty. I haven't started it yet because it was so nice and pretty, the colors, and I wanted to show you. So here are the colors. Aren't they pretty? lots of greens and blues and different shades, a little gray in there and silver. Very nice. And I just used the colors that were called for in the blanket. There's 3, 6, 9. There's 9. There's 9 colors in this project. And by reading some of the comments and reviews of somebody that had made this project already, she said that she had ran out of this one, which is called Crater Lake, and she said she had suggested people to order 2 of them, and so I went ahead and ordered 2 of them while I was at it, because it was 2 of the one of the colors that my Joann's here didn't have. And so so that's what I'm using. I'll put a link in that pattern. I don't know, I won't go through and name all the colors, but I will put a link to the pattern in Ravelry, and you can see the colors that are listed. Now, if anybody wants me to individually show these colors and tell you what color, the name of that color, leave a comment below in the description box, and then next week on my episode, I will show them individually. So, because I know this video is kind of getting long, so I want to move on to the next subject. Okay, so that is, I'm anxiously anxious anxiously looking forward to starting this project. So I was looking at the project, and it has all these panels. That's why it's called panels and squares, because you do the squares separate, the little granny type squares, and then you have these little panels that you have to add to them, like rectangular bars, different sides that are like between each squares. But anyway, I was thinking, oh, we're gonna have to whip stitch all those together, but I was looking in the pattern, and I don't believe you have to do that. I think what they are is they are single crocheted. The pieces are single crocheted together, so I'm glad about that, because that would be a lot of whip stitching, which that's not my favorite thing to do. So anyway, so that is that. Okay, so now our giveaway. Okay, a couple of weeks ago I reached my 500 subscriber point here on YouTube, and so I said that I was going to have a giveaway, a drawing, and it was going to be a random draw, and I had people comment on that video and to give me their Ravelry name, because the prize will be a pattern of their choice up to the value of $5 that I will gift to them through Ravelry. Okay, so I went through all the comments, and I wrote them all down right here, all the people's names. And I had 76 people that entered and gave me their Ravelry name, so then I could enter them in the drawing. And so on my phone here, I have a random number generator, I guess you'd say. And so it says to put in how many random numbers. I just want 1, because it'll be 1 winner, and it is going to be from 1 to 76. So 76. Okay, and so now I'm going to hit the calculate button, and it'll give me a random number, and we'll see who the winner is. So calculate, and the winner, if I can get it to work here, just a minute, 1 to 76, calculate. Okay, it's not wanting me to do it. Let's see, let me try it again. 76, calculate, come on. Now it's not wanting to do it for me. I'm so sorry. I have never done this before, so as you see, let me get back on here. Let me use this one. Okay, from 1 to 76, enter. There it is. Okay, so the random number, I don't know if you can see it, but the random number is number 45. So now I'm going to go and look on my list here. Number 45 was Cheryl Ferrell. Okay, I will put your name below, and I will be contacting you because you did give me your Ravelry name, and so I will be contacting you. But through Ravelry, I'll send you a message, or you can send me a message. My Ravelry name is TJS140. 140. Okay, and I'll get with you, and you can tell me what pattern you want me to gift you up to the value of $5, and I will be sending it to you. So, thanks everybody for subscribing, and I checked, and I am actually at 535 subscribers now, so that's super exciting. I'm really happy about that. Enjoying all the friends I'm making on here. And I just really enjoy getting to show you all the projects that I like to do. Oh, and one extra thing here, well, two extra things, right quick. So the Christmas character blanket that we have been doing is now, since today is March the 1st, that means that the third square is up to be worked on already. I just finished my Christmas square last week, so I probably won't start this one for a couple of weeks. Okay, but the third square in the project is the Snowman Square, as you can see there. Here is a glimpse of the whole entire blanket right there. Okay, and here are my two squares that I've gotten done so far, the Christmas tree and the Santa. That's a size, okay? And then I was trying to figure out the background colors, what I wanted to do. And so I just got some matte pencils, I guess you say, or colored pencils, and I started coloring all these different sequins of, I don't know if you can see that very well, but what background colors I wanted to use, if I wanted to use random colors, or if I wanted some sort of a pattern. And so I tried different things. And so I finally decided that I want to, I think, go with this one, which is just going to be a checkerboard design, which will be the denim, gray, blue, I guess you'd say, and the purple one that I just did. And so if I'm doing that, these two will go next to each other. So the next one, the third one, which will be over here, will be this color again for the snowman. And so I think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to alternate these two background colors instead of doing it so many different colors like this one is. This one's pretty. I love it, but I just couldn't decide what colors I wanted to use, or, well, actually I could have just stayed with these, but I kind of wanted them to have some sort of a pattern in the background, so that's what I'm going to do. So the next one will be this gray-blue color background again with the Snowman Square. And as always, I'll be adding some sparkly yarn accents in there in my square as well. Okay, so I got that one. The only other thing I was going to show you is last week I wanted to show you a project bag or a tote bag that I had gotten, but I had left it in the other room, and so I didn't get to show it to you. But a couple of weeks ago we had some missionaries come to our church, kind of showing us things that they were doing, and it was like a fundraiser for Bible school that they were building down there, and it's actually in Africa. The country of Botswana. So they had little projects and items and things for sale at a table at the back. And so I decided that I saw this tote bag and I thought it was so cute. Has zebras on it. Some of the zebras have rainbow stripes. And I just thought it was so cute. It's a nice tote bag. It's got a zipper and lined, and it's got a nice little African type print, I guess. Up here at the top, if you can see that. Anyway, I'm always in what do I say? I'm always wanting to find project bags. I can always use them, in other words. But I thought it was a super nice tote, and so I bought that from them just to kind of help them out and to get myself a beautiful, colorful tote. So, okay, so now I'm finished. Thank you so much to my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, to my channel yet, please do, and you can keep track of what I'm doing. Each week I will put progress, or show you the progress of my projects that I do. I put out a weekly video. I would like to eventually maybe put out more than one per week, but right now it's pretty much weekly. I mean, well, it's at least weekly. And so please subscribe if you want to keep track of what I'm doing. And appreciate everybody, and I hope everybody has a great week and a great weekend. We're having wonderful weather this week. Last week it was kind of cold and rainy and fizzly drizzly, as our local weatherman says. But so if you notice, I was looking at last week's video and I was wearing like a sweatshirt, and now I'm wearing a t-shirt with short sleeves. So that's Texas weather for you. But it's just really pretty outside. I was outside earlier and enjoying the weather. So everybody have a good week and have a wonderful weekend. And we will talk to you next week. See you later. Bye.